Good afternoon, fight fans, and welcome to Sydney's Entertainment Quarter. We are counting down to the 23rd of August, where Nikita Tszyu will be back in action at the Hordern Pavilion. My name is Nico Pajarillo. It's great to have your company and to have the company of the Courier Mail's Pete Bedell, the king of Australian boxing, Tim Tszyu. Thanks for coming, gents.
Thank you, Nick. Good to be here.
Now, Tim, we'll start with you. This is the first time your brother is headlining a pay-per-view. How proud are you of Nikita?
Oh, look, two years in, it's a big moment for him to be on this platform. You know, a lot of responsibility, but I've seen the growth in Nikita in the last 2 years and how he's developed. So I'm quite excited for him.
Now, Pete, this is a hell of a shadow from which to emerge, the Tszyu surname, but if you look at his undefeated start to his career, if there's someone who can blaze a trail of its own, it's certainly young Nikita, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. I mean, we've seen this with Tim. He's gone through this himself. He's lived in so-called, the shadow of Kostya. He's been through that with his father, and Nikita's had to traverse the same journey, and he's also got his brother's great reputation as well. But as we've seen with Tim, we talk about levels in boxing, and every time Tim's had a challenge, he's taken the next step up. He's dominated his opponent, and I see the same journey for Nikita. I was there for his first ever press conference for his first pro fight. He was a nervous man then. I remember he said he was the surgeon, he's the butcher. So they're different styles, different fighters, but Nikita is an exciting talent, and I think, like Tim, he'll keep rising up. He'll take every challenge, he'll go up the levels, and I think he can be a real serious contender in this division.
And Tim, Nikita has said he's getting more comfortable in front of the cameras. What are you expecting from younger brother with a microphone in his hand today?
I don't know what to expect with the kid, Every time he comes up on stage, he's got something quirky, something different. I know what he does in the ring, but in the press conference, I don't know. I don't know what I'm predicting.
Well, it looks like the fighters are ready, so we might hand it over to the voice of Australian boxing, Ben Damon.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Entertainment Quarter for our pay-per-view double-header announcement here today, and it'll all take place August the 23rd, a Wednesday night, live on Main Event Television and at Sydney's Hordern Pavilion, and we can today reveal that Nikita Tszyu, the undefeated prince of the Tszyu family, will take on a famous name in Australian boxing in the charismatic Jack Brubaker on a double-header card that also features a fight between former world title challenger and current world number 6 Liam Wilson against Argentina's world number 13 Carlos Alanis. It is a big night of boxing, a stacked undercard being put together as well by No Limit Boxing Promotions. Ben Damon's my name from Main Events. Really looking forward to this show as part of this huge slate of boxing, all brought to us by No Limit, that we've been seeing in recent weeks, and which continues again next Wednesday night with another show just over the road and live on Fox Sports before we move to this pay-per-view event August the 23rd with that double header that we are here to announce today. We'll be joined by a bunch of the fighters who are featured on this card, and of course we are joined by George Rose from No Limit, and well, it has to be acknowledged that there's an empty seat next to you. Jack Brubaker isn't here just yet. Are you sure you've got this deal done for Brubaker against Nikita Tszyu?
I am sure that we've got it done, at least I was up until about 3 minutes ago. We've had a lot of things, a lot of curveballs always get thrown at us, but this is a new one, so,
Well, it's a pretty significant curveball.
It is a significant curveball. I can promise you, though, that Jack Brubaker is locked into fight, and we saw that, from his performance just recently, very recently, that he's ready to go, that he's the durable guy that we need to be able to test Nikita Tszyu.
Unless he's got cold feet.
He's just trying to make an entrance.
Nikita, he's trying to make an entrance, do you think?
Yeah, he's trying to make a little special entrance, like the McGregor stuff that he used to do.
Okay.
Comes in late. It's all for show.
Well, weid like him to make some sort of an entrance at some point, but George, what about this show and the fact that we do have...
There he is with his cowboy hat.
Oh, okay. Well, he has been sighted now. Jack Brubaker.
I told you I wasn't lying. I told you.
The cowboy is, in fact, making an entrance. And it's great to see him back in such a big fight. We've seen him on so many occasions throughout what has been a fantastic career in Australian boxing, and now he gets to take on another member of the Tszyu family. So Jack Brubaker has joined us, and George, we can now continue. So all seems to be well with one of these two fights in our doubleheader. But talk to us about this card. You've got those two massive fights up the top that I've just announced, but a stacked undercard as well. You must be looking forward to getting back to the Hordern Pavilion.
Absolutely, and the Hordern Pavilion has always turned it on here in Sydney. We've always had great fight nights here in Sydney at the Hordern, and this card, it's got a little bit of everything for everyone. You know, we've got the rising stars of Australian boxing. We've got future champions. We've got big heavyweights, which I'm very excited about as well. And we've got guys with very solid records that are ready to go head to head.
Yeah, you mentioned the heavyweights, so we will see as part of this card Tszyu up against Kiki Latelli, and also we're going to see Koen Mazudia and Ben Hussein as well. So some really strong fights early on.
Absolutely, and these guys are elite guys in the super welterweight division. I think one thing about Australian boxing is that we have a very deep super welterweight division, and these two guys are definitely at the top. Koen, in fact, is a WBA number 9 in the world. So this is a fight where, he's really putting a lot on the line for the opportunity to keep progressing up the ranks. And it's a fight that I'm excited about. They actually made this fight themselves, so I'm not paying the matchmakers any money for this one. These boys wanted it, and I love that. I love that about young, hungry guys who want to fight, want to take tough fights, want to fight the big fights. Koen in particular, he's been in with some of the best guys in the super welterweight division already. Ben Hussein has never backed down from anyone. He's always looking for a fight. So this is one that I think that you really need to tune in for, because it could quite end up being fight of the night, and I hope everybody else on the card challenges to try to take that title off them.
George, I did something this morning, I don't know if you've done yet, but re-watched Liam Wilson's fight against Emmanuel Navarrete from earlier this year when he challenged for the world title and was ultimately defeated in highly controversial circumstances. Liam and I sat down and re-watched that fight this morning for a piece that you'll see coming up across Fox Sports. Have you gone back and put yourself through that? Yeah,
look, I have rewatched it a few times. It's actually cost me 7 TVs because every time I get to that point and I start counting myself, I get the shits and chuck something at the TV. So it's the one that got away. It's one where Liam Wilson should be defending his world title in this fight. That's what this should be. This should be a world title defence. And what he did over there in America, in Arizona, it was... Mate, it was an amazing feeling to be there ringside for it, to be supporting Liam. And, mate, there was thousands against him when he walked in the ring. It was a very hostile atmosphere. And what he did, I sat down ringside and I was very quiet because... Honestly, the atmosphere in the room, it was very overwhelming, but it wasn't for Liam Wilson, and Liam Wilson had everything against him in that fight, but what he did was nothing short of amazing, and he deserved to win the world title in that fight, and I was blessed to be there ringside for it, because I know what this guy's got. I know how he bounces back from adversity. He's already shown it previously. He's never taken an easy fight. He always fights tough world-ranked guys, and a lot of fighters, you see who they are after a loss, and how they come back, whether they come back with that same tenacity. Well, Liam Wilson came back from his previous loss, showed how good he is, took on world-rated opponents, should have won a world title, and unfortunately didn't due to everything that happened there in Arizona. But he's back again. He's back again in a tough fight, another world-rated guy, and this is the moment we get to see another statement from Liam Wilson in what should be his world title homecoming.
Yeah, that is Liam Wilson against Carlos Solanas, so the world number 6 against the world number 13. And then we will have Nikita Tszyu, who is 6-0 as a professional, against the charismatic Jack Brubaker, who has now joined us. What are you expecting from the build-up to this fight and this fight itself?
Look, aside from a lot of entertainment, I'm expecting a really hard fight. We've talked about the fact that Nikita keeps icing these young undefeated fighters. He's really been fantastic in the start to his pro career. There's been no one that we've been able to put in against him that's really pushed him, but this fight is different. This is an experienced guy. Jack Brubaker is a guy who goes the distance. Nobody's been able to stop Jack Brubaker themselves. He has had losses, but it's been stopped by the corner or stopped by the ref. Nobody's been able to put Jack Brubaker down. He's a very durable opponent. So when we talk about trying to get rounds for Nikita Tszyu, Jack Brubaker's a guy. It's just added bonus that he brings so much charisma to a fight as well. I think anybody who thinks that Nikita's a guaranteed win, a guaranteed, another easy win from him, I think you're going to get I think we're all going to get to find out come August 23. Look, I really don't know how it's going to play out. I love Nikita. I love the way Nikita fights. I know he's got that knockout power. But I know Jack Brubaker has a chin, and he's also got some power himself. We saw him put Troy O'Meara on his butt just recently. We saw him put Stevie Spark on his butt. These are guys who are fast, who have got skill, and Jack Brubaker showed what he's capable of doing. So it's a great test for Nikita, and I'm really excited for it because Nikita is one of the most entertaining guys in Australian boxing in what he's doing with every one of his fights. And Jack Brubaker is also a very charismatic, entertaining guy too. So this is going to make for a fantastic fight, and I'm really excited about August 23.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, August 23 that you'll see this huge event. You can watch, of course, on Main Event, which you can access via Foxtel or KO, or if you can, get to Sydney's historic Hordern Pavilion. George, do you want to tell us about the tickets?
Yeah, look, there's never a dull night at the Hordern Pavilion, and it's going to be the same on August 23rd. Look, pre-sale tickets are live right now. They went live at 1 p.m, so if you want to get on the pre-sale, jump on and register on nolimitboxing.com.au. Get in there, get your pre-sale tickets, get the best tickets out there. Otherwise, general public tickets are live from 4 p.m. this afternoon. So get in, get your tickets, have a good night. The fights are going to be great, and it's going to be a fantastic night at Hordern Pavilion.
And before we get to that, next Wednesday night we have another of the made-for-television events that we've been putting on in recent times, featuring the head splitter, Isaac Hardman.
Yes, and we are blessed to have him here today. Look, Isaac's back in a big way. He's ready to turn on a really good show for us. We've had a fantastic response to No Limit on Fox. The last few weeks have been a resounding success, and we've been getting fantastic viewers there. And now we've got the headliner in Isaac Hardman's going to be here to put on another show to tune in on a Wednesday night. Wednesday nights are for the fights, and No Limit on Fox will be back next week on Wednesday night with Isaac Hardman headlining it, and he's promised fireworks, which I'm really excited about because he's got a tough fight. He's got a very, very tough fight, and when you're at Isaac's level, there's no easy fights for you, but he's promised to turn on the show. So, look, I'm waiting to see what comes and really looking forward to a bit of entertainment from Isaac.
Thank you so much to George Rose. We will talk to Isaac Hardman now because, as mentioned, he does fight next Wednesday night, so it is the 9th of August. It's on Fox Sports, and he'll take on Japan's Kazuki Kayahara. Isaac, great to see you. How have preparations been for this fight? Because you've known about it for quite some time, and I know there's a certain edge to you in the lead up to this.
Yeah, good to see you too, Ben, and everyone here. Prep's been good. I'm getting back in people's faces and staying in it until they're on the ground with their toes pointing to the ceiling. So can't wait to get there next Wednesday, put on a show, and the old head splitter's back, the one that got me from 1 to 12. No more Mr. Nice Guy, I ain't doing that shit. I'm not here to appease other people by myself, and that's what I'll do.
Have you been enjoying watching the shows, knowing you were going to be a part of one of these boutique events?
Yeah, and I've heard the numbers have been great. They've been getting better every show, and they've left the best one to last, and we're going to blow the roof off. The numbers are going to be through the roof, and it's going to be great.
And you've got a bit of a catchphrase going into this fight as well. Sayonara to old mate.
Yeah, so I don't know much Japanese, but what I'm going to do is hit him with the Ichi ni san, and then it's Sayonara Kayahara, back to Mount Fuji.
Very good. Anything else for us?
Nah, that's about it. That's all I got.
That's pretty good. Well, we look forward to seeing you in action, Isaac Hardman. That will be next Wednesday night, and you will see Isaac Hardman, the head splitter, is back. It'll be live on Fox Sports when he takes on Kazuki Kayahara. And then, of course, a couple of weeks later, we move to this show. So August the 23rd, a Wednesday night, live on Main Event. We'll talk to some of the fighters who are involved in this event now. We're going to start with Cohen Mazudia down there at the front table. Cohen, great to see you. Why is this a fight that the both of you wanted so much?
Yeah, cheers, Benny. Yeah, mate, I pretty much put a call out on Instagram to the whole super welterweight division. Just, it's been 5 months since the last fight where I fought Ben Marnie. We're the, 2 top-ranked guys in the division other than the man Tim over here. So, I was just looking for a fight. I wanted anyone and everyone, so I put the call out. Ben was the first to put his hand up, and I thought, I'll gift him the opportunity. As mentioned before, I'm ranked number 9 in the world. Ben hasn't got a ranking with anyone or anything. And I'm happy to give him the opportunity because I want to keep climbing. I want to test myself. He's a dangerous fighter. He's been around for a long time. So I think it's going to be a fun fight for myself and the fans.
What do you think of Ben Hussein from what you've seen of him as a professional?
He's dangerous in periods. He's got massive gaps in periods. He's long. Obviously, he's one of the Rangers super welterweights here in Australia. So there's some size advantages. He's got some good skill, but yeah, man, look, as I said when we first talked, I think I'm going to knock his head off into the second row. My plan is to spin his chin like Daffy Duck and really show him a class above these Australian fighters.
I guess you've got eyes on bigger prizes. Obviously, a Nikita Tszyu fight would be exciting too. You've wanted Tim Tszyu at times. You would be thinking you get through this and there's something much bigger for you.
Man, there's only one reason I'm doing this is to be world champion, to be the man, to be the best. And like anyone else that's playing games and doing anything else is joking themselves. Nikita, Tim, they're the top dogs in the division. They got the big name. So, like, of course, I'm aiming for the top. Like, we've got big international fights that are being talked about. And man, anyone that wants it, I'll fight anyone here on stage right now. If Isaac wants to have a go, we've done rounds before. No, but you know, like that's who I am. I'm a fighter. I'm not playing games. I'm one of the realest people you'll meet in this game. And yeah, Ben Hussein's just someone in my way.
All right, let's talk to Ben Hussein. Ben, welcome. Cohen's had a bit to say there. Anything you want to respond to?
Nah, not really. He just, he's a very confident man, you know, and he's saying that he's going to knock my head in the second row. I want to give you some stats. So Cohen hasn't had a knockout in 3 years. That's the first one. Who's your best win, Cohen? What's your best win so far?
Wade or Joel, probably.
Okay. Yeah, so Wade's his best win, and it was close, and the Joel fights were close. My best win is Wade Ryan, not Wade Ryan. What's his name? Someone give me the name.
No, this guy doesn't even know his
Wes
sport. What are you talking about, mate?
And Wes Kappa beat Wade Ryan, and I beat him very convincingly. Not on splits. I didn't lose. It hasn't been close, you know. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about him knocking my head into the second row. I don't reckon he could knock the candles off the cake.
What do you think you're going to do in this fight then? Because he's told us very clearly what he plans to do.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed on what he has planned to do, you know. He's saying that he's number 6 and he's gifting me the opportunity. The truth is, if No Limit believed in him, there'll be an international here. But I'm sitting here. And that shows the faith they have in you, huh? And I'm so confident I'll win, and you're confident you'll win, correct?
Yeah.
I reckon we put our purses on it. Come on now.
You know I'll do it, but you know it's not going to happen. You got a kid, don't you? You got a kid? You got a kid? And a family? Oh, he's hitting himself in the face with a mic. This guy can't speak, he can't fight, he doesn't know what date it is, doesn't know who he's for. He doesn't know. You got a family and a kid, don't you? You got a family and a kid?
Yep.
Why do you want to take food out of their mouth, bro? I don't want to take food out of your family's mouth. I'm going to keep it in there.
No, listen. This sounds like a scared man to me.
I'm going to take your health. I'm going to take your record. You won't want to fight after this.
We can get contracts for this.
Hey, that's between you two.
Nah. Let's get contracts for this. I'm telling you, you're confident. You're confident, yes?
Yeah.
Why are you sitting there? Shake my hand. Let's do it.
But I said I'm not going to take food. If you want to do it, we can do it. But I don't want to take food out of your pants.
No, let's do it right now. You want to shake hands? Let's go.
As I said, that one's between you two. I'll pay you both. You've got to pay each other.
I don't want just a word. I want this in contract. I send all the money to the winner. I'm telling you, I'm winning.
And then winner can fight me.
Listen,
all the money.
Are you coming to 69?
Let's have a Royal Rumble. Fuck it. Let's go. Everyone in at once.
No jokes though. I'm dead ass.
Yeah, same here, bro. As I said, if you want to take food out of your family's mouth, bro, it's on you.
Listen, brother. The food's going out of your mouth. You're going to be hungry. You're definitely going to be making weight.
Why are you so confident, Ben? What's happened to you that makes you this confident you're willing to bet it all?
Hey, listen, I'm just a confident man, and I know I've prepped good, and I know I've prepped hard, and in my gym we call him Clowen the Clock Watcher, because he does fade, and he's always looking at that clock, so we call him the Clock Watcher, Cohen, and I'm going to come in, and I'm going to put it on him, I'm telling you.
He calls himself the hype beast. I'm going to make him look all hype, no beast.
All right, that's the joke, brother, come on now. It's spelled out for you, that was a good one.
Beast.
All right, that was a good one.
All right, well, looking forward to that one. Benjamin Hussein and Cohen Mazzudia.
Baby, let's try it.
It's good.
George, there's a bit going on here.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot. Hey, look, I love it. I love it, though, boys. I love this confidence. This is why I said I honestly think that this could be fight of the night. And, you know, they're willing to put it all on the line against each other, and I absolutely love it.
Make a contract for us, please.
We'll sort that out later. We might need to turn those microphones off, though, as we continue up to the top table. I'm going to start at the very end with Glenn Jennings. Glenn, you've got a couple of fighters here in Liam Wilson and Nikita Tszyu, and it's clearly going to be a very entertaining card.
It always is entertaining. No Limits seem to be the only ones who can stitch this sort of stuff together. It's gold. It's great to see these young blokes down the front here putting it all on the line, and that's what it's all about. They want to make statement fights. They're happy to hand over their purse. Good luck to them. Let them go at it, and all the more entertaining for the crowd. But as you said, I'm very, very proud to sit here representing these two young guys at these stage of their careers, and two of Australia's premier knockout artists sitting right here, Benny. So anything's possible with these guys, and it's great to see Liam Wilson come back on the back of the Navarrete loss, which we will forever dispute. But nevertheless, Liam, the roadmap forward for Liam's a very busy one, and we intend to have him back getting that belt that he belongs to and that he owns, that's currently being held by Navarrete next year, early next year. So it's exciting times.
Yeah, tell us about Carlos Alanis, world number 13. He's undefeated in 12 from Argentina. Why is he a good opponent now for Liam Wilson?
Look, any of these guys that are ranked in the top 15 in this particular weight class are all class acts, mate. If you go down the list, they're all good fighters. They all bring something to the table, and for us, it was a matter of finding somebody that could challenge Liam and let him show that his confidence is back and that he belongs at the elite level. I think on the back of Navarrete, everyone agrees that Liam Wilson not only won the fight but belongs at the elite level, at world championship level. And so for us as a group with No Limits, it's just a process of building a roadmap to put him back there in the best position that we can.
As a manager of Tim Tszyu as well as Nikita, you'll remember well the build-up to the Jack Brubaker-Tim Tszyu fight. It was the first time we really saw Tim getting angry with an opponent. Jack clearly had an impact on him, and we saw the emergence of the Soul Taker. What do you think Jack's presence does for Nikita?
Look, I love Jack. I think he's the ultimate presenter when it comes to boxing, and he brings something to the party that many don't. And anyone that thinks, like George said earlier, that Jack Brubaker's a pushover, this guy has a ton of experience. And from our perspective, it was all about putting Nikita in front of so many different options, different fighters and different styles. And to get Jack Brubaker at this time of Nikita's career, many say it's an easy fight for Nikita. I don't believe so. I think it's going to be a tough test. And I think Jack, knowing Jack who he is and how he likes to present himself, that he'll bring that entertainment 100%, and him and Nikita will put on a great show.
And it is an eliminator for the Australian Super Welterweight title, which is currently held by Dylan Biggs. What would an Australian title mean if Nikita can get through this fight and challenge for that?
Yeah, I think Nikita's very early in his career, and I think under most circumstances, Australian title might be a little bit further down the line, but Nikita's proven without a doubt that he's made the climb back into the pros very quickly and very successfully, and taking care of everybody that's in his way. And whilst from our team we expect him to do the same when he fights Jack, and then bounce straight back, and given the opportunity with No Limits, we'd love to have Dylan Biggs when the opportunity arises.
Thank you so much, Glenn Jennings, and thanks for joining us here today. We're going to head now to Liam Wilson. As mentioned, he fights against Carlos Alanis, who is undefeated in 12. Liam's most recent fight, he challenged controversially for the world title in Arizona. And Liam, we rewatched that fight this morning and then drove here together. You were very quiet on the drive after having watched that. What was that experience like for you, having to put yourself back through that?
Yeah, it was. That was the first time I watched the fight back in a while. I haven't watched it since past the sixth round. You know, it's quite daunting. I feel like I could be sitting in today as a world champion, and I should be. I fell short in February against Navarrete, and you know, I'm just excited to be. I'm excited to be back here in my return fight. You know, showcasing my skills and getting back in the world title contention against another tough opponent. Like always, I'm always in the hard fights, and this is no different this time.
Is there any part of you that, sitting here today, even though you don't have the belt, feels a little bit like you are, or at least should be, a world champion?
Yeah, I should be the world champion. Valdez is fighting next weekend, and it should be Wilson versus Valdez. Unfortunately, it's not, but we'll get there. You know, I'm going to get a good decisive win here in good fashion, whether it be knockout or a boxing masterclass, and we'll get back in that contention for a world title.
You've had a bit of a look at Carlos Alanis. What have you made of him?
Yeah, he's a nice, neat boxer. You know, it's nothing I haven't seen before. He's basic. Look, I think my skills will ultimately come out on top. You know, I'm looking to make a statement.
exciting for you to be a part of a show like this at a historic venue like the Horden Pavilion, live on main events, and part of a double header with an exciting fight like this.
Yeah, I feel very privileged to be a part of this show. Headlining with Nikita Tszyu, my teammate Ben Hussein. I'm very excited to get in there after a bit of a slow start to the year. I'm excited.
Well, it's great to have you back, Liam Wilson. Looking forward to seeing that fight and seeing the return of Liam Wilson on this huge show. And that takes us now to the fight between Nikita Tszyu and Jack Brubaker. Great to have you with us, Jack, who we'll start with. You had to make an entrance, didn't you?
No, I just had a bit of trouble tying my stallion up out the front. There's no parking for horses out here.
Did it have a flat tyre or something?
No, it just I was finishing eating.
Jack, how did you feel last time out? We saw you against Troy O'Meara. We knew what was on the line. How did it feel to be back after well over 2 years out of the ring?
Yeah, it felt great to be back in the ring. The No Limit cards, they're amazing. They put on the best performances and the best fighters in Australia. So it was a pleasure to be on the card again. It was good. I knew the Nikita fight was there if I got through Troy. And Troy came out hard and fast. He threw a bunch of punches, but nothing landed. Nothing hurt me. I dropped him in the second round, and after that, I just knew I had to get through the fight, just box smart, land the clean shots, come out unscathed. Troy's a messy fighter. Like he gets cut easily against Wade. He gets cut. Wade got cut. I just didn't want to get a head clash and get caught in a brawl with him and miss the opportunity to fight Nikita here. So it was good. I felt good. I woke up the next day, felt like a solid sparring session, straight back in the gym, and got that excitement to level up.
Do you feel like you've got a point to prove against the Tszyu family after having fought Tim a few years ago?
Oh man, I'd love to get one back on the Tszyus. I know Tim's gone exceptionally well in his career, and it was an honour to share the ring with him. And he's getting better and better every fight. But I'm a big believer everything happens for a reason. I enjoyed a couple of years off. I'm loving my gym again. I'm training at BTS. I'm hungry. I'm fresh. I'm a big believer everything happens for a reason, and this fight's come around at the perfect time.
What have you made of Nikita? I'm sure you've been watching closely. How do you think he compares to Tim?
Man, I think Nikita's a lot more entertaining. He likes to trade. He gets in there, and man, it's a perfect fight for me. I hope he comes and lets his hands go, because that's when I'm at my best. And I feel like it has a Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler type of style to it. We're going to come out fast. I'm going to fight a lot differently to how I fought Troy. I've got nothing to lose now. It's the weight of the world and Australia's on Nikita's shoulders now, and he can sort of experience that. But man, I'm just going to enjoy the experience. I feel good, man. I look good. I feel back. I've been in 23 wars, and man, I still look this good. So I'm looking forward to getting back in there.
You've pretty much talked your way into this fight, so is there anything you want to say to Nikita, who's now sitting just a couple of seats down?
I'm just looking forward to getting in there with him. I'm glad I'm in there boxing him in the ring. I'm glad Nikita's got a little bit of a weird vibe about him. I wouldn't go back to his house if he invited me over for a barbecue, I tell you that. But man,
I'd feed you some weird stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'd wake up with his dogs licking my toes out the back, tying up to a chair. So I know he's a strange cat, but man, he can fight. So I'm looking forward to putting on a good show, and man, it's going to be a cracker. Man, all these people that watch that performance against Troy, it's 2.5 years out of the ring, saying that, I'm not ready for Nikita. Man, I've been in 23 wars. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm ready. I'm hungry. This is a good fight. They're the same people that after Nikita fought Ben Horn were saying that Nikita wasn't ready for me. So it's just water off a duck's back, all these commenters, and I'm just going to prove myself, prove my family, prove my gym, prove Australia that I got what it takes to be back on the top. Nikita
Tszyu, is that a fair assessment? You're a strange cat?
Pretty much, yeah. Like that's a very good description of me. I'd probably say the same thing about you. Like, it's not the usual kind of scene to see someone walking around with a cowboy hat and a belt buckle like that. But look, it's a beautiful personality that you have. You got like a little bubbliness to you, and yeah, I respect it. You're unique, and you own it. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
Can you respond to that?
Oh man,
bubbliness?
Yeah, anything. I'll take anything. I'm just not going back to his house for a barbecue.
Yeah, you got to take the compliments. You got to take the compliments.
Man, I'm full of compliments. I'll take them all as I get them. So thank you very much, and looking forward to sharing the ring.
Likewise.
And a barbecue potentially afterwards, Nikita. Would you like to extend the invitation now?
Nah, probably not. Sorry, I only bring my friends over, and yeah, not to be awkward or anything, but
that's all right. Have you got many friends, bud?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got 4 friends.
Four
good
Four's
mates
better
of
than
mine.
3.
Is that meant to mean something, or is it just...
Oh,
this is
4 friends
going...
is better than 3 friends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
3 friends is better than 2 friends.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought that was it.
Well, this is going into weird areas at the moment, but Nikita, tell us about this fight and what it represents to you, because I know that you felt after what you've done in recent times that you needed to go to the next level. You needed to step up the level of your opponent, and clearly Jack is that.
Yeah, this is definitely a massive step up for me. It's a step up from the... How many fights has he had? 23 fights, he just said?
Right, 23.
That's, yeah, definitely like twice as much as my most recent fights. So it's a huge step up for me in both experience and styles. He's a very durable fighter. He's been around the game for a very long time. I used to watch him spar George Kambosos at our gym when I was 14 years old. So I've known him for quite a long time. So it's good to get in there with someone that's who's been aging for a while. Not to say that you're old. You're like a fine wine.
Fine wine indeed.
Yeah.
Just keep going, Nikita, please.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
What have you seen from Jack, not only in the ring over the road here the other night, but also his presence and the fact that he wants this fight? Where do you think he's at?
Yeah, I think he's ready for it as well. I'm not going to judge the most recent fight because, again, 2 years off, you're dusting off the cobwebs, as he said. As well, he's trying to stay durable, he's trying to not get any cuts. The Troy O'Malley fight would have been a war if he fought his regular style. So he knew that there is a possible fight in the future with me. So he did the kind of right style, right assessment, right adjustments, and I'm glad everything worked out the way it is.
Back at the Horden Pavilion, you had a really tough night there against Ben Horn. Some people would see some similarity. Clearly, Jack has been around for longer and had a lot more fights, but he's a warrior, Jack Brubaker, much like Ben Horn, which you seem to have a bit to figure out.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. I need these kind of fights. I need fights that push me into the deeper rounds. I don't like the first round knockouts. They're good and all in maybe the later part of your career, but at the start you want to build the experience. So when those tough fights do happen, you're well adjusted. And this is a fight that I'm going to learn a lot from, a lot about myself. Look, the Ben Horn fight was the fight that I learned the most about myself. I had the biggest step up from that fight till the next when I versed Dark and Dryden. I felt like I had changed gears completely because I got to really battle myself in that fight.
Jack clearly thinks he wins this fight. A lot of people think this fight goes the distance either way, but I know you'll be looking for a stoppage. Your brother stopped him in round 4. He's over there. Do you think you can do it faster?
Yeah, he beat my one-round stoppage last time, so 4's the aim, but we're ready for anything. We're ready for the whole 8-round distance. I've been sparring 8 rounds for quite some time now, and we've got a very high tempo, and yeah, we're ready for the dirtiest, hardest fight that we can possibly get.
And I'll leave it to you to finish. Anything you'd like to say, weird or otherwise, to Jack?
What's with the cowboy thing? I've always been curious about this. I've never had any
I grew up riding horses my whole life, so down Darks Forest Riding Ranch. It's my family business, and I just enjoy the whole cowboy thing.
I respect that, yeah. Because you're from Cronulla, so I was like, it's weird that a cowboy will come from Cronulla, and I was always a little confused. I thought it was a bit of a gimmick, but I'm glad that we got this sorted.
I'm glad we could do that here. Thank you so much.
I'd take him for a horse ride, but I wouldn't want to be in the bushes alone with him.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll race him, man. I'm a little mental when it comes to adrenaline.
Yeah, no doubt. We might get these two to face off, which anything could happen here quite clearly. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along to this official announcement press conference. It's been very, very entertaining indeed, but we're going to get these two fighters to face off, Nikita Tszyu and Jack Brubaker, and to repeat, Liam Wilson will fight against Carlos Alanis. It is a double-header. Wednesday, August 23, at the Horden Pavilion in Sydney, live on Main Event Television, which of course you can access via Foxtel or KO. And this
is the Butcher, Nikita Tszyu, and the Cowboy, Jack Brubaker. Thanks for your company here today. We eagerly await next week's fights, of course. Wednesday night, the 9th of August, you will see the head splitter back in action, Isaac Hardman, in a made-for-television event. And then 2 weeks after that, it is our pay-per-view brought to you by No Limit on main event television, the Horden Pavilion. And as we get Nikita and Jack to face the front, please, boys. Oh, they're deep in conversation now. And this is Nikita Tszyu and Jack Brubaker. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.